showtime.
And here we go, round of 8, Razer TSL, game 4 of White-rA versus Draco. White-rA, surprisingly to some, in the lead. He's up 2-1 against Draco, and he needs one more win in the best of 5 to take it down. Draco, of course, he does not want to lose here. $250 is quite a far cry from $5,000, which is first place for the Razer TSL. So he is definitely going to put out his best game here on Zodiac. We have White-rA starting at 3 o'clock and Draco at 6, both Protoss, of course. And, you know, we generally talk a little bit about positional disadvantage, and, you know, it has to go just slightly right now towards White-rA. White-ra''s main is not as good as Draco's main in these positions because, you know, right near Draco's natural, he can fly a shuttle right over and be in White-ra''s main near his minerals in about 2 seconds, so you know that could come into play. But you know, normally a Reaver heavy map, it'll be interesting to see if anyone goes DTs this game, as they have been, you know, so often so far in this match.
Yeah, the last thing to mention is that they are sharing an island. The island often comes into play in Protoss vs. Protoss. People actually do a Reaver build where they get a shuttle, drop the probe on the island, and expand there before taking their natural, actually. That probably is not going to happen given that they are sharing the same bottom right island. We saw JF do it against Cloud in cross positions, and it worked very nicely, but of course they were not sharing an island, so it was a lot less risky than in these positions. And we can see that Draco has scouted White-rA correctly, whereas a little confused with the colors. It looks like White-rA is going to 12 o'clock scouting incorrectly.
And we also see that White-rA, he is getting that very fast gas. Draco falling right up with the gas and pumping out a Zealot. He knows right where White-rA is, so he's going to want to send that Zealot right away, see if he can get some probes. But White-rA, not to be outdone, also making a Zealot. So it looks like we're going to have again a mirror build, just like on Blue Storm. They both did the same build for quite a while until White-rA, you know, decided, hey, I'm going to DT drop, and Draco said, hey, I'm going to, you know, go 5 gates. So, you know, it's going to start similar. And look at that, a Manor Pylon in White-ra''s minerals there. That is really, really annoying. It looks like he's got 2 probes stuck right now. He's going to have to attack the Pylon with both probes and bring the Zealot down. And with Draco's Zealot on the way, this is going to draw White-ra''s Zealot away from the ramp and let Draco's in so that he can get some harassment done.
Yeah, I really like that Draco let the Pylon finish. We saw before that he canceled the Pylon, and I really don't think that makes the Manor Pylon pay off. We can see that White-rA is a little flustered. His probe is out of position, not really doing anything. He's trying to get the Zealot back to defend his ramp, and the second Zealot actually gets rallied out. So it looks like he's not going to be able to hold his ramp. I don't know if a single Zealot can hold the ramp. No, it can't. This is going to be key. For Draco to pay this off, he's going to have to kill 2 probes. Everything after 2 probes is just profit for him. And of course, having a pro gamer Zealot micro, we'll have to see how this works out. That Zealot already has its shields down right now, taking a lot of extra Zealot hits. A bit of a mistake there. Now filtering in, trying to kill those probes. He's drilling the probes nicely, running away every probe that gets hit immediately. That was unbelievable defense by White-rA. Wow.
White-rA really showing his micro there, something White-rA is very well known for. He just totally trapped that Zealot. He took 0 losses, pulled all those damaged probes. Just brilliant micro there, and he takes a really early lead. I mean, that Manor Pylon didn't do that much. It was really more just to get White-rA away from the ramp so Draco could get up and harass. So that's 100 minerals gone. That's a slower build for Draco. And then that Zealot just really didn't do any damage, just delayed a little bit of mining time. So White-rA looking in very good position right now.
Yeah, White-rA time and again seems to play kind of defensively in the opening, and then try to take it back in the mid game after Draco tries something to make up for his error. We can see Draco decides that is 2-gate range. He has range about half done, and his second gateway warping in, whereas White-rA has decided to add a robotics facility before the second gateway down now. So again, Divergent pass. We're going to have to see if this means some sort of Reaver drop or if it's going to mean an island expansion. I would think the island expansion is not a good idea, as I keep saying, but that quick robotics does seem to point either towards that or a really fast Reaver. I'm not too sure White-rA is known for his Reaver mechanics, but we're about to find out one way or the other.
And, you know, one thing we got to point out here is Draco's mechanics just keep on coming into play every game so far. If you look at their supplies, right now Draco's sitting on 39, White-rA on 34. This is because of Draco's just relentless mechanics. He doesn't miss a probe. He always has another probe ready to be made. You know, whenever he wants units, they are being made constantly. Whereas White-rA misses just a little bit more. You know, he lives in Ukraine. He doesn't live in Korea, so he doesn't really get to play as professionally as Draco was trained. So these type of things really pay off, especially in a matchup like Zerg vs. Zerg or Protoss vs. Protoss, where, you know, if someone gets a better economy, it's really going to pay off because you're using the same units that have the same defensive and offensive capabilities.
So we can see White-rA has decided to open Observatory. That seems really quick in my mind, but again, I don't play Protoss, so we'll have to see how it pays off. The robotic support bay is also down, so clearly Reaver is going to be coming out now. The Observer came out before the shuttle, so it looks like he's decided to play safe in this. He's trying to close it out by playing safe. Doesn't want to lose to a Dark Templar kind of cheese and then have to be going into the final game 2-all. He has a bit of a buffer, and I think that's probably why he's playing safe. I'd expect to see the shuttle out. The pylon, he was waiting for a pylon to finish. Shuttle coming, or Reaver actually coming now. So the shuttle will be coming afterwards, and White-rA just getting a little scouting out of his observer. Going to see if Draco has taken his natural. Going to see what kind of tech he's gone for.
Now this is a very cool build here by White-rA. The defensive Reaver, you know, he doesn't spend that extra 200 minerals on a shuttle, and that allows him to get a much quicker Nexus than Draco is going to get. So that is just a very cool build. You don't see too many people do it, but this is something White-rA does both against Protoss and versus Terran. The Reaver being a very good defensive unit, you don't really want to attack into it with, you know, Dragoons, Zealots, Reaver, whatever. So a cool build there. We see his Nexus going up. Meanwhile, Draco, he has his shuttle. He's waiting on a Reaver, and he's just pumping goons in the meantime. So we're definitely going to see Draco as the aggressor here. And how is White-rA going to split up his troops? He's going to have to be very careful because Draco's going to be able to run back and forth, you know, harass the main with the Reaver, pull it back out, bust the front when the goons go in. So these are just things that White-rA is going to have to keep in mind and just do his absolute best micro and decision making to take care of.
Very unfortunate here that Draco has decided to wait for the second Reaver. We can see that White-rA's main is just completely open. Had he gone for that, he would have taken it out. White-rA doing a good job of killing Draco's observer. Doesn't want him to get any free scouting. Draco, by playing safe, has basically let White-rA expand quicker. White-rA didn't have the benefit of a shuttle, and he still doesn't have a shuttle making, so this could actually be trouble. Of course, we know Reavers can pop out of the shuttle, draw Scarab fire from other Reavers, and then pop back in, taking 0 damage. So that's what Draco is going to try to do with this shuttle, and that's the advantage you get when attacking with Reavers in a shuttle versus Reavers that are just sitting on the ground.
We see now they're both adding their 3rd and 4th gates, but right now Draco on his way. He's got his 2 Reavers. He's just killed the scouting probe of White-rA, so White-rA is going to know he's coming, absolutely. Looks like he's pulling Dragoons out of his main, but there are 2 Reavers in that shuttle. If Draco goes to the main with that shuttle right now, he could do a lot of damage, but it looks like he's more content to try to go break this front. He is up about, what is this, about 6 supply right now on White-rA, so he does have a little advantage there, but he has got to do some damage with this attack. And a Reaver drop in the main, the probe's running out, already a Dragoon gone. This is exactly what he's got to do. 1 Dragoon picked off, another couple coming in to defend, and here he goes right up at the front. Looks like he's going to charge into the natural of White-rA here. White-rA with 2 Reavers there to play defensively, and now it's going to come down to battle micro, and it looks like Draco pulls right out. He does not want to run into those 2 Reavers. That is a very strong defense.
We can see, meanwhile, nothing in the main of White-rA, but Draco not going in. I can see there's 3 Dragoons now. The shuttle looks like it wants to go in, playing very safe. Moves in, draws a shot from a Dragoon, moves back instantly. Very good play. But White-rA has a held this off for now. Of course, very hard to defend with Reavers against Reavers in a shuttle. The Reaver's getting dropped by Draco. Looks like he's looking to push in, but White-rA, very smart, backs off, knows that he needs to draw those Reavers forward and then attack them. And of course, Draco, knowing that White-rA is trying to do that, positions his army forward to defend those Reavers. And we have a bit of a containment. Haven't seen much containing in Protoss vs. Protoss, but here we go. That pylon is, of course, exposed. Going to get taken out with Reavers. And just looks like we're jostling for position here. A battle is imminent very soon.
And here we go, the two Reavers killing a goon right off. He goes up to try and target the shuttle, but he moves it back just in time. Draco just loses the shuttle. Now it's going to be Reavers and goons against Reavers and goons. A lot of goon blood all over the place. First Reaver hits onto White-rA's Reaver. White-rA left with just one Reaver. Two Reavers here for Draco. Draco just decimating his army with perfect Reaver shots here. And the second Reaver goes down. Draco still with a huge army. It looks like White-rA is absolutely dead. There's not going to be any coming out of this. He is stuck up on his ramp. Very few units left. Draco at almost twice his supply. Both Reavers still left. Excellent micro here by Draco. And White-rA leaves the game. GG. Draco ties up 2-2.
Wow, what unbelievable play by Draco. I mean, it looked like he was a little bit behind. Just having the advantage of that shuttle, basically taking care of, making White-rA's army go wherever he wants, drawing Dragoons into the main and then slowly pressing in across the bridge. Brilliant play by Draco.
Indeed, every time we seem to see something like that, where you can harass the main and attack, it's very hard for the other Protoss player to deal with this. Splitting up your army is not easy PvP.
Yeah, exactly. And now we're going on. Wow, Game 5, the all-pivotal game. We haven't seen much late game play. I don't know if Game 5 they'll slow things down, try to play a little safer, but we are back on Othello. So it'll be interesting to see if we have repeat builds or if the players have actually prepared something special had it gone to Game 5. We're about to find out soon.
Alright, sounds good. So Game 5 is on Othello. We'll make up the game here shortly. Draco really has won both of his games with kind of this brute force attitude where he loses a game to some sly play by White-rA, who's, as Artosis said, is more a very much a brain player, and he seems just to get mad and just brute forces his way right through White-rA's natural. I think the real advantage on that map was the positional setup, as you said. It allowed Draco to go in with the Reavers and forced White-rA to be so worried about the Reavers in his main base that his army got all bottled up in the natural.
Yeah, it did. It's a hard position. There are positional disadvantages occasionally on various maps in same race matchups. It's just the way it is. I mean, normally maps go right around in a circle, so just the shapes and stuff like that can really come into play, especially when you have high-level players like White-rA and Draco going at it. And so now we're going to be revisiting Othello. Last time we saw an Othello, Draco did that quick DT rush, got totally slammed after he made too many cans in his natural. So will we see that this game? I don't think so. And so here we go. Let's just go watch it. Here we go. Hit it, Hotbit.